Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Reviewing Officer Colonel L. Omar Lomas, good morning and welcome to the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion Change of Command ceremony. We would also like to welcome those of you who are joining us virtually and thank you for your participation. Today, Lieutenant Colonel Christopher M. Hodel will relinquish command of the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion to the incoming commander, Lieutenant Colonel E.J. Kesselring. On the field before you are the units participating in today's ceremony, composed of the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion Headquarters and Headquarters Company, 67th Military Police Company, 595th Military Police Company, and United States Army Correctional Activity. The color guard is from the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion under the direction of the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion Command Sergeant Major Brady C. Marshall. Music today is provided by America's First Corps Band, the heartbeat of America's Corps. America's Corps Band is directed by Chief Warrant Officer 3 Robert Bruns, and the drum major is Sergeant First Class Kenneth Edra. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Major Megan E. Starr, Executive Officer for the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion. Today's ceremony is a reflection of procedures practiced since the birth of our Army in 1775. The formation of troops centered on the national flag represents the unified purpose of the Army and its willingness to make the ultimate sacrifice in the defense of the nation. Next to the national flag is the unit colors. This closeness to the national flag symbolizes the trust placed on the Army by the nation. Representing each unit is the battalion and company colors. Each is a symbol of pride, tradition, and history. Unit colors serve to mark the location of an organization's headquarters and its commander. When a unit's colors are removed from the headquarters, such as for today's ceremony, they remain under guard. This is more than tradition. It is a solemn recognition and devotion to the sacrifice and gallantry of all who have ever served under those colors. The task of guarding the unit colors is an honor given to only the finest of soldiers. Ladies and gentlemen, the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion would like to recognize our distinguished visitors for today's ceremony. Please hold your applause until the end. Major General Martin, Mrs. Jan Lucas, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Fitz, Command Sergeant Major Breckenridge, Colonel Lomas, Command Sergeant Major Thompson, Colonel Hanrahan, Colonel Johnston, Command Sergeant Major Shad, Colonel Doyle, Colonel Dable, Colonel Jacobs, Command Sergeant Major Bland. Please round me. The reviewing officer for today's ceremony is Colonel L. Omar Lomas, commander of the 42nd Military Police Brigade. The host commander is Lieutenant Colonel Christopher M. Hodel, commander of the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion. The incoming commander is Lieutenant Colonel E.J. Kesselring. The 508th Military Police Detention Battalion was constituted on 29 July 1921 in the Organized Reserves as a 308th Military Police Battalion. The battalion was withdrawn from the Organized Reserves on 1 January 1938 and allotted to the regular Army. The battalion was redesignated on 1 June 1940 as the 508th Military Police Battalion. The battalion was activated on 20 March 1944 at Fort Sam Houston, Texas, and arrived in the European theater in December 1944. It initially served in England, where in January 1945, it was transferred to the newly formed 15th Army. In mid-March, the 508th was moved to France and attached to 1st Army. The battalion participated in the final drive of the Allied armies into Germany and received campaign participation credit for the Rhineland and Central Europe campaigns. The battalion was reorganized and redesignated 20 October 1947 as the 508th Military Police Service Battalion. Between 1945 and 1951, the battalion and its subordinate companies were responsible for law and order operations in the locale on the Munich and Garmisch military posts. The battalion was inactivated 1 July 1964 in Germany and reactivated 25 August 1967 at Fort Riley, Kansas. Companies Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta were deactivated 1 November 1970, followed by the Headquarters and Headquarters Detachment on 29 March 1973. The 508th Military Police Detention Battalion was reactivated 16 October 2005 at Fort Lewis, Washington. In 2006, soldiers from the battalion deployed to Fort Sus, Iraq in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. The 508th assumed control over the theater detention facility at Fort Sus and created an extensive training program for Kurdish prison guards who would eventually be integrated into operating independently within the facility. For their efforts, the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion was awarded with the Meritorious Unit Commendation Streamer. In 2008, HHC and the 67th MP Company served at Camp Taji, Iraq, and supported operations at Theater Internment Facility and Reconciliation Center. In 2011, the 595th Military Police Company deployed to Camp Sabalu Harrison, Afghanistan, in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. In 2013, the 67th Military Police Company and HSC also deployed to Camp Sabalu Harrison, Afghanistan, in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. In 2015, the 595th Military Police Company deployed to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, in support of Joint Task Force Guantanamo Bay. Since 2018, the 67th and 595th Military Police Companies have alternated deployments to Iraq in support of Joint Special Operations Command and their direct support to Operation Inherent Resolve. Please direct your attention to the VIP seating area. At this time, Second Lieutenant Hill, the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion Officer of the Year, is presenting a bouquet of red roses in full bloom to Mrs. Mary Hodel. The roses symbolize the color of the heart, the care, and the concern Mrs. Hodel has shown to the soldiers and families of the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion over the past 2 years. Lieutenant Colonel Hodel's children, Anna, Elizabeth, and William, are also being presented with a small gift. At this time, Private First Class Nicoletti, the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion Soldier of the Year, is presenting a bouquet of budding yellow roses to Mrs. Tammy Pronsky. The yellow color is a sign of welcome, and the budding flowers are in anticipation of things to come. Lieutenant Colonel Kesselring's daughter, Anne Marie, is also being presented with a small gift. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation provided by 508th Military Police Detention Battalion Chaplain, Chaplain Ezok, and remain standing for the presentation of colors and the singing of the national anthem performed by Specialist Akil.
Let us pray. Almighty God, bless our gathering today with your presence as 508 Military Police Battalion receive a new commander. We offer you our thanks for the professional, visionary, and inspiring leadership of Lieutenant Colonel Christopher M. Hodel, for he has been a blessing for us. We ask that you keep your hand of grace on him and his family as they head out to their new horizons. Today, we also lift to you our new leader, Lieutenant Colonel Emil J. Kesselring. Grant abundant blessings upon him and his family. Help him accept this command today as a sacred trust and guard and use it appropriately. Finally, we ask you to inspire us all to be the best soldiers that we can be and prove worthy of the trust that our nation has placed upon us. Amen.
Now approaching the reviewing stand is the reviewing officer for today's ceremony, Colonel L. Omar Lomas, the outgoing commander, Lieutenant Colonel Christopher M. Hodel, and the incoming commander, Lieutenant Colonel E.J. Kesselring.
Attention! Let's present arms! Sir, the command is present. Not command. Sound! Order arms! Colors! Center! March!
The colors you see moving forward are the very soul of the United States and the 508th Military Police Battalion. The colors are a visible record of the glories of the past. It stands guardian over the present and serves to inspire in the soldiers the loyalty, duty, and courage to achieve victory in the future. In the past, the colors served as a rallying point for soldiers during the smoke and fog of battle. Today, the colors are a symbol of the unit and accompany the commander wherever he may go.
Sir, the colors are present. Yes, colors. Sound, present arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in the air, gave proof through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated.
Sound, order arms, and parade rest.
The change of command ceremony is a simple traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. The key to the change of command is the passing of the unit colors. These colors represent not only the heritage and the history of the unit, but also the unity and loyalty of its soldiers. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing his responsibilities to the organization. Wherever the commander is, there also are the colors. The custodian of the colors is the Command Sergeant Major. As a senior enlisted soldier in the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion, Command Sergeant Major Marshall is both the spokesperson for the loyalty and concerns of the soldiers and a principal advisor to the commander. The passing of the colors symbolizes the transfer of authority from the outgoing commander to the incoming commander and demonstrates to the soldiers of the unit the old commander has passed the mantle of leadership to the new commander, and with this must also pass the loyalty of the soldiers to their new commander. As their last official act together, Command Sergeant Major Marshall passes the colors to Lieutenant Colonel Hodel, symbolizing the trust and confidence placed in the non-commissioned officers of the unit. As his last official act as the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Hodel passes the colors to Colonel Lomas, symbolizing his relinquishment of command. Colonel Lomas, the 42nd Military Police Brigade Commander, passes the colors to Lieutenant Colonel Kesselring, empowering him with command of the unit and all associated responsibility and authority. By authority of Army Regulation 600-20, paragraph 2-5, the undersigned assumes command of the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion. Effective date, 24 June 2021, signed E.J. Kesselring, Lieutenant Colonel, Military Police, commanding. Lieutenant Colonel Kesselring returns the colors to Command Sergeant Major Marshall, the Battalion Command Sergeant Major, reaffirming his trust and confidence in the non-commissioned officers of the unit. The changing of positions of Lieutenant Colonel Kesselring and Lieutenant Colonel Hodel indicates that Lieutenant Colonel Kesselring has officially assumed command of the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 42nd Military Police Brigade, Colonel L. Omar Lomas.
Wow. You guys hear me? All right. What a beautiful morning. Soldiers are out, the mountain's out. Couldn't get any better. All right, good morning. Major General Martin, Command Sergeant Major Breckenridge, CW5 Fitz, and a very, very, very special welcome to Mrs. Jan Lucas from the town of Steilacoom, who's been the partner for the 508th MP Battalion for numerous years. Welcome here, ma'am. To all my fellow commanders, Command Sergeants Major, friends of the 42nd, welcome to today's ceremony, and thank you for attending this change of command. Today, we honor the 508th MP Battalion and two of the finest officers in our Army and our Military Police Corps Regiment in this ceremony between Lieutenant Colonel Chris Hodel and Lieutenant Colonel E.J. Kesselring. The 508th MP Battalion has a storied history on JBLM, and even long before the battalion was activated on JBLM, its corrections mission on then Fort Lewis was deeply rooted. In fact, the soldiers of the 508th MP Battalion are but a handful of soldiers in our Army who execute their real wartime tasks in a garrison environment, and have done this since the 1950s, when our previous corrections facility was first built. Since then, battalion command teams have continued to train our corrections mission while executing their wartime tasks. However, these past 2 years have been an anomaly of operations in the 508th that it took a special leader to lead that unit, and I couldn't have imagined anyone other than Lieutenant Colonel Chris Hodel to accomplish this feat. When you look at the 508th MP Battalion's accomplishments over the last 2 years, it's apparent that Lieutenant Colonel Hodel has been an engaged leader who provided clear intent to get the battalion to where it is today. During his tenure, Chris was charged with closing the original Northwest Joint Regional Confinement Facility in order to rebuild a new state-of-the-art facility. However, in the process of closing the facility, he had to execute the largest U.S. military prisoner transfer on U.S. soil. His battalion made history on that day as they transferred over 75 military prisoners with our multi-agency law enforcement partners to get the prisoners safely to Fort Leavenworth. As soon as the prisoners arrived in Kansas, Lieutenant Colonel Hodel and the 508th MP Battalion were breaking ground on a new confinement facility. These past couple of years, Chris has had oversight of the $77 million Milcon project. Working in close partnership with the contract construction company, this project has remained on schedule despite weather delays, bear sightings, and worldwide pandemic. Come October of 2022, JBLM will be home to the new Northwest Joint Regional Confinement Facility thanks to the hard work and the relationships established by Lieutenant Colonel Hodel and his team. Oh yeah, and about that pandemic. COVID-19 arrived on JBLM in March of 2020. While it may have changed the conditions and the environment in which we operate, it did not change the mission of being prepared to fight and win our nation's wars. More than ever, this brigade was pressed into service in securing the strategic support area and helping to sustain the force health protection. It was soldiers of the 508th MP Battalion who were asked for, by name, by our Corps commander, to do that mission. Lieutenant Colonel Hodel was able to transform his battalion to provide the security and oversight of the installation's force health protection measures across various critical sites on JBLM. Although not a traditional mission for the battalion, the 508th morphed to become part of the strategic support area apparatus to protect the soldiers, families, and civilians who work and live on JBLM. Thanks to Chris and his team, JBLM did its part to fight the virus and get us to where we are today. Despite all of the varied tasks and challenges we've handed Lieutenant Colonel Hodel, he never lost sight of his #1 priority, the readiness of his battalion to deploy, fight, and win. In getting after this priority, Chris did something that many 508th MP Battalion commanders before him have not been able to fully accomplish just due to the high demands of operating a correctional facility. On multiple occasions, Chris was able to take his battalion into field environment to certify companies, platoons, and squads. And he and his staff developed multiple unit training plans to establish detention operations facility and hone the battalion's wartime tasks while simultaneously deploying platoons in support of OIR. What an awesome job, Chris, and this has been an awesome run for you. You and your team have done a phenomenal job in being ready, relevant, and responsive to the unit's soldiers, families, and leaders on JBLM. During your time here as the commander of the 508th, you served as an example of what it means to be a servant leader and as a role model of what it is to be a professional soldier and officer. Additionally, you've been a wise advisor and corrections expert, And on behalf of the Protector Brigade, I want to thank you for your dedicated and selfless service to our organization. During his tenure as a battalion commander and throughout his career, Lieutenant Colonel Hull has been blessed to have a remarkable partner, his wife, Mary. Mary's played an active role in the battalion in leading and supporting programs and activities that are centered on taking care of families. She's been a staunch supporter of the battalion by ensuring the soldiers in the battalion made memories during Halloween haunted houses, holiday parties, company changes of command, as well as unit deployment and redeployment ceremonies. As a senior spouse in the battalion, Mary also shared her experience with unit SFRGs to serve and advise them as they planned events to take care of the Guardian soldiers. So Mary, for everything you've done in the 508th MP Battalion and for our brigade, we thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for this military family and thanking them for their service to the 42nd MP Brigade and JBLM. Today, we're also honored to have another great leader join our Protector Brigade as we welcome Lieutenant Colonel E.J. Kesselring, his wife Tammy, and two daughters, Anne-Marie and Mackenzie, from Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. E.J. comes with a wealth of knowledge on corrections and detentions from Fort Leavenworth, where he served as a Deputy Brigade Commander for the 15th MP Brigade and Director of Operations at the U.S. Disciplinary Barracks. E.J., you are more than qualified to lead this organization, and you are the right expert needed to open the new Northwest Joint Regional Confinement Facility. Welcome to JBLM, and welcome to the Protector Brigade. The 508th is very fortunate to have you as our new battalion commander. Chief Warrant Officer 3 Bruns, thank you and the 1st Corps Band for making today's ceremony extra special. As always, your performance here today has been remarkable. To the NCOs and soldiers on the field, you look absolutely great. I am always in awe of your professional decorum. Continue the mission, and thank you for what you do each and every day to remain ready and resilient to deploy anytime, anywhere. Lieutenant Colonel Hull, we wish you and your family the very best as you move on to your next assignment in Norfolk, Virginia. As you depart the organization, the doors behind you will not close. They will forever be open to you because you are a Protector family, so you are always welcome back. EJ, congratulations and welcome to the Protector Brigade. I look forward to seeing you take care of our soldiers and ensuring they are trained and ready for whatever comes their way. Thank you. People first, winning matters, courage, protectors.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing commander of the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Christopher M. Hodel.
Good morning, Major General Martin, Mrs. Lucas, Chief Fitz, Commanders, Command Sergeant Majors, Colonel Lomas, family and friends, protectors, and guardians of justice of the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion. I appreciate your attendance and support today on a bittersweet ceremony as I've had the honor to change command with Lieutenant Colonel E.J. Kesselring, a longtime friend, battle buddy, and just an incredible guy. Thank you to Colonel Lomas and General Miller, the two leaders who entrusted me with command and provided me the room to operate and lead a battalion across a diverse mission. I appreciate your trust and confidence to allow me to lead Guardians and accomplish the mission. For the Guardians on the field, you look incredible, and your performance is a testament to your professionalism and dedication. You are a class act. Thank you to those who made this happen. These ceremonies, time and time again, are difficult to do, and you make the hard look easy. Thanks to America's 1st Corps Band. As always, you give a grand sense of honor and dignity and class to these events. My hat is off to you. I'd like to recognize my family who's traveled from near and far to support me. I don't spend enough time sharing my Army story with you, and boy, do I have some stories to tell about the amazing soldiers I've had the honor to serve with every day. For those in the crowd, please spare me a couple minutes. My commanders and field grades will tell you that that's a loaded statement. But as I take some time to recognize the accomplishments that I've had the good fortune, the humility, and honor to have seen the Guardians of Justice accomplish over the historic time period in the battalion and the Northwestern Joint Regional Correctional Facility, they made it very easy for me to stand in front of them and claim credit for their amazing successes. All of these accomplishments were conducted by the roughly 450 soldiers, sailors, and civilians you see represented on the field before you, and the 100 who have departed since. I'm eternally grateful for their willingness to take up the mantle of proving that it starts with me. 2 years ago, as this formation stood on a field and I took command, about 1.5 miles south of here, there were 112 prisoners in the oldest prison facility in the DOD, some parts dating back to the 1930s. 3 shifts of Guardians worked tirelessly to ensure the safe security and legal custody, while an exemplary and professional unit of soldiers and civilians ensured the highest correctional standards were met every day. Our platoon was in the last month of deployment and getting ready to come home after 9 months supporting Operation Inherent Resolve. Since then, there have been a host of historic events, training opportunities, and breakthroughs that demonstrate the professionalism, expertise, dedication, and discipline that are the ethos of the Guardians of Justice. An $87 million facility awarded to tear down, or project to tear down an old facility and construct a new one. And Guardians continued to demonstrate precision and detail to the last day, transferring those prisoners to other facilities, partnering with the U.S. Marshals, Washington State Patrol, local law enforcement, and our sister detention battalions at Fort Leavenworth, including 38 prisoners in some of the nastiest Pacific Northwest winter weather. The staff operated during core warfighter exercises to represent 4 MP battalions, including themselves, training for expertise at expeditionary detentions operations in large-scale combat. After 85 years, we closed the Northwestern Joint Regional Correctional Facility, and a groundbreaking occurred. And Guardians remained committed to the mission. They demonstrated incredible agility. They were ready, and they were experts. They proved that it started with them. And then a global pandemic, and Guardians were called forward to continue to conduct pre- and post-trial confinement. And as of today, the regulators, sitting to the farther right, conducted over 90 movement missions to Naval Consolidated Brig Miramar, the disciplinary barracks in JRCF at Fort Leavenworth, and other facilities across the DoD. They have supported the entire joint base, conducting over 500,000 contacts with DoD personnel and family members, ensuring force health protection to keep critical facilities open. And in the midst of a pandemic mission, they assisted during medical emergencies, intervened to stop criminal acts, and always enforced standards with little more than the brassard on the sleeve and the authority in their voice, again, proving it. Then Guardians trained, because readiness never stops. Another platoon deployed. Across the battalion, Raiders and Sentinels and Spartans prepared for large-scale combat operations, going back to a style of training and a level of readiness that few in the formation have ever experienced. They had to teach, train, imagine, prepare, learn, and then relearn, proving they are experts in expeditionary detention operations, with over 100 Guardians in the past 2 years deploying when their nation called, proving that it started with them. And now the Guardians of Justice, Raiders, Sentinels, Spartans, and regulators alike charge into the future with an incredible officer, leader, and friend, Lieutenant Colonel Kessering at the helm. EJ, I'm looking forward to how you're going to open a brand new facility, continuing to train and prepare and deploy when the nation calls, and to take care of people. And as of a couple of weeks ago, they are the singular detentions battalion on active duty, and I know you will continue to prove it. I have to take some time for a couple of special thank yous to some of the leaders in this formation who have departed before me. This list is shorter than I would like, and it doesn't include all the mentors, peers, friends, family, and leaders who have helped me be successful. And the Guardians of Justice have been amazing, but I promise to adhere to some sort of timeline. To my commanders, Matoski, Lett, Vance, Shostrom, Twice, Avello, Newborn, Keeman, and Newell, your leadership, drive, and enthusiasm for the well-being of soldiers and accomplishing the mission is what makes the Army great, and it's what takes care of soldiers, and continue to prove it every day. To my first sergeants, Green, Reed, Chagdas, Stroh, also Twice, Matos, Cabrera, and Boring, you have a level of leadership, experience, and care for the soldiers that make the Army amazing, and you continue to be the backbone. Teach the young NCOs in your ways. To my majors, Rana, Basil, Garcia, Hamilton, McQueenie, Starr, and Niblock, you have a drive and determination and patience like no other, and I know this from experience. You have taught, trained, and led young staffs and young leaders to accomplish exemplary feats in supporting the mission, so keep rowing. And as a commander, you're lucky if you have sergeants major whom you see eye to eye with, and I've had the great fortune to have the very best, given the best advice, even when I may not have wanted to hear it. Thank you to now Command Sergeant Major Sweeney and the platoon of Ops Sergeants Majors that followed. Bruner, Edwards, and Davis, you ran battalion operations in the headquarters and made sure we were all singing the same tune. To my Sergeant Major, Buddy, we have made it a long way. And I'm sad to leave you behind. But I know that you'll continue to lead, caring for soldiers, and being that voice to the commander, pushing his buttons, but also providing that expert, frank, and timely advice while training NCOs in what leadership should look like. Thank you is not enough. And to a guy who's literally a living legend, leading a group of professional, dedicated, and caring civilians to ensure that the institution remembers beyond all the soldier rotations, Mr. Hobbs, you are the cornerstone to the 508th and the NWJRCF, and I could not have been nearly as successful as a facility commander or a battalion commander without your advice, without your friendship, and without your zeal. I'm proud to be your 10th of 10 commanders. And finally, to my family, this has been a long and short 2 years. It has been a roller coaster full of ups and downs, the loneliness of camaraderie that is battalion command, and the effect that it has on families. I cannot thank you enough for the patience with all the lies that I've told about how I'll be home real soon, or just one more email, or just one more training event, or night, or weekend, or checking on soldiers. You have shown what it is like to have the welfare of the battalion's families and soldiers first, and you kept me focused and grounded on how to take care of families and their soldiers. So to repay you, the moving company comes tomorrow, and it's only going to be 100 degrees on the hottest weekend in the history of the Pacific Northwest. I can actually promise you I'll be there on time to get loading. Thank you. I love each of you dearly. I'm sure I'm far beyond my time limit, but I hope that each of you understand what the Guardians of Justice are that stand before you, and that with their commitment, their agility, readiness, and expertise, they will continue to prove every day that it starts with them. EJ, I'm so excited for you, Tammy, and your family to lead this organization, and I know you'll prove it every day. I look forward to hearing of the amazing accomplishments and accolades continuing. Thank you all again for your attendance and your support to the Guardians of Justice. People first, winning matters, courage, protectors, Guardians of Justice. It starts with me, Guardian 6, signing off the net.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 508th Military Police Detention Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel E.J. Kesselring.
Good morning, Major General Martin, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Fitz, Command Sergeant Major Breckenridge, distinguished guests, visitors, friends, and family. Thank you for coming out today. At this moment, soldiers, please take a minute, shake it out. Go ahead, it's okay. Bend your knees, move around a little bit. Or not. All right. I'm truly humbled to be standing here in front of you all and honored to be entrusted with such an important mission. First, I want to thank my wife, Tammy, my daughters, Amory and Mackenzie, for all their understanding and support to help get us here. I'm standing here today because of Tammy. The laundry list that you and all of our military spouses sacrifice is endless, but it does not go unnoticed. Tammy just retired from her dream job of 27 years, leading a phenomenal team with the Kansas City Police Department as a sergeant to help me continue to further my career. Thank you. To my in-laws for making the trip out here from Nebraska under COVID conditions, I know it wasn't easy, but I also know there's no way you would miss it. My parents were unable to make it, but I know they're watching online. Mom and Dad, thank you for always believing in me and ensuring I had the proper tools to succeed in life. Thank you to my extended family, brother-in-law and his son for coming out today, as well as my friends and mentors who are here. Also, past leaders and mentors that came out, Colonel Johnson, Sergeant Major Shad, Colonel Hanahan, the 22nd MP CID family, 6th Group, I appreciate you all coming and thank you. Colonel Lomas, I assure you I do not take this responsibility lightly, and thank you for entrusting me and giving me the opportunity to lead such a distinguished battalion. Chris and Mary, Tammy and I cannot thank you guys enough for everything you have done for us the past 6 months, whether it be looking at a house in the middle of nowhere or telling us we should live on post, which you were right. All while trying to plan your own PCS, you always found the time to run down any questions. Chris, you're truly a professional, one which I truly admire, and you leave behind some real tough shoes to fill. And finally, I'd like to thank the band, the sergeant major, the NCOs, and the soldiers and civilians that helped put this day together. Everything looks outstanding as a testament to this battalion's ability. It was nearly 14 years ago I had my first assignment as a detainee operations officer in U.S. ARCENT, and my most recent assignment was in the 15th MP Brigade. I'm grateful to be back in the correction and detentions realm. I feel like I'm coming home and exactly where I need to be. I'm especially excited to be a member of the Guardian family and will do my best to earn my keep. Serving in our military today has its unique challenges that our civilian counterparts may not fully understand, but serving in law enforcement makes it even more difficult. The long hours, the weekends, the holidays that these soldiers and civilians sacrifice to ensure their safety and make sure that count clears makes them some of the most selfless and dedicated team members I've ever seen. I pledge to carry my weight, give the same dedication and commitment to you that you have given to our nation. Thank you. Courage, protectors, guardians of justice.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join us in singing the Military Police Regimental March, the First Corps Song, and the Army Song. The lyrics can be found in your program. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for attending. It starts with me. Invited guests are welcome to join Lieutenant Colonel Kesselring and Mrs. Pronsky at a reception located at the Main Post Chapel Fellowship Hall. Please take a moment to say your farewells to Lieutenant Colonel and Mrs. Hodel at the center of the reviewing stand.